So our third race and final one from Musselburgh today is going to be race 30. It's the Tattersalls Island Spring Juvenile Hurdle for the 4-year-olds, over 2 miles again. So Colt following for Stu Gray, Condorcet and Highland River the fifth for Martin Leadham, Josh Sutherland's Juvenile Delinquency, Cactos Monceau for Daniel French, Hollywood Hinton's White Bad Wolves, Rainforest also for Daniel French, Paul Parsons' Rare Edition and Hollywood Hinton's White Forest, 9 of them. Plenty of these will be going in the Triumph next week. You'd have to put your money on one of Daniel French's taking the title. I'll put my money on Rainforest now, Cactos and Monceau. So a big plug there for Daniel. Please enter the Cheltenham competition, as well as Martin as well, hasn't entered yet, and Mr. Parsons. Takes 2 minutes on the forum. Also Josh as well, if you could also enter. But back to this Juvenile. It is White Forest that's going to lead the rest of the pack. Out wide is Colt following as they get to the first of the 8. They will get over that Rare Edition. Just took it a little bit stumbly, but it is White Forest from Condorcet up against the Rouse, Highland River the 5th and Cactus Monceau just on his outside. Then 2 more Greys, which is Juvenile Delinquency for Josh Sutherland and Dennis the Menace Silks, and just on the outside of that is, I think that's the other Del Hinton horse, White Bad Wolves. Widest door is Colt following, the nearest one to us, and then just the 2 at the rear. Rainforest looking for a bit of racing room as well as Rare Edition, but they don't want to let this White Forest, and he went straight through the top of that, bit of a mistake, and his lead's down to just a couple of lengths now from the chasing pack, which is all pretty close. Rainforest is the one that's got nowhere to go, but I still imagine it will probably win. But White Forest, Rainforest, every forest. All we need is a jungle forest, I don't know, woody forest, but it's White Forest that leads from the rest of the pack. They're all pretty much together. They go through the first mile or so, and it is White Forest down the back straight here. Leading from Colt following and Highland River and Juvenile Delinquency and White Bad Wolves over towards the Rowies, Cactos Monceau and Rainforest. Then Rare Edition. Condorcet has just dropped back a little bit. Bit of a mistake there by Rainforest towards the rear. But it's still this White Forest with just a couple of lengths advantage now to Colt following, has moved in a little bit. Want to get over to the Row before they take the final home turn. They go over the 5th. They'll take their good jump there by Cactos Monceau. Jumps himself into 3rd. Highland River the 5th still holding on to that Row. Rainforest starting to move up through the pack. Juvenile Delinquency hasn't asked for anything. White Bad Wolves just been given a couple of reminders now, as well as Condorcet. Rare Edition needs to pick up. But up front is White Forest being taken on now by Colt following and Cactos Monceau. Up on the outside is Juvenile Delinquency. There's also Highland River 5 who hasn't got nowhere to go and locked himself in. Rainforest also blocked up, but it's White Forest and Colt following as they take this long sweeping left turn now. And it's White Forest that starts to pull away again. Heads for home first in these heavy conditions from Cactos Monceau, Highland River the 5th and Colt following. Juvenile Delinquency hasn't still picked up. Rainforest is still there looking for a gap, but it's White Forest and Colt following as they finally turn into the home straight with just 2.5 furlongs left to run. White Forest from Juvenile Delinquency. Colt following's not picking up. Rainforest up on the outside. Cactos Monceau's not going to win again. White Bad Wolves and Highland River the 5th, but it's still this White Forest, been there since the beginning inside the 2. Here comes Rainforest up on the outside, and it's White Forest, but Rainforest from Juvenile Delinquency and Cactos Monceau, and it's Rainforest that leads with a furlong left to run from Juvenile Delinquency, Cactos Monceau on the inside, White Bad Wolves, Colt following still trying to run, Highland River the 5th go a bit of racing room, but there's another win for Daniel French. How have you not picked him in your Cheltenham competition, you guys? I don't know. He's going to score plenty of points. But there's another win there for Rainforest. Takes it well. We're going to the Juvenile Wicks, the Triumph next week, and winning, I'm sure, from Juvenile Delinquency in 2nd, Cactos Monceau in 3rd. I think Highland River the 5th was 4th. He was for Martin Leadham, and Colt following for Stu Gray ended up being 5th. I'll hand you over to Martin now, who's over in Ireland for Leopardstown.